Okay, everyone, it is a lovely Tuesday morning. How is everybody doing today? What are your plans for this week? What did you do yesterday to help prepare for the week? What do you guys do exactly every beginning of the week to figure out what to do next? What do you guys do? I try to spend a little bit of time on the weekends sometimes, maybe 2 hours, planning out what the week's going to look like. And, you know, I don't really get to that point of verification until right around Monday morning real early. And I try to get as much of that knocked out of the way as I can. I keep a list of things that I'm trying to accomplish. And I have appointments where I meet with a lot of people every week. And there's even individuals that schedule me. And that's not like an assistant. They're like partners and sales reps and all kinds of stuff that have access to my calendar. So I never really know exactly what's going to happen, but I can tell you that I always try to keep a nice, good list of things I know I need to strategically accomplish and by when. And I use my own calendar to schedule myself accomplishing tasks, as well as scheduling for meetings and scheduling to speak with people. And so I always highly suggest everyone to keep that as separate from the activity schedule you have, so that if you move things forward, they don't get lost. Just a little bit of advice there. So the morning mindset with Beto Paredes. I am Beto Paredes. Give it a little bit of quick background. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years, and in that time, I've helped a tremendous number of companies. We've done over 2,000 projects. I'm currently the CEO of a network marketing company, and we've helped a lot of network marketing companies in the space. I do this for the individual that is out there working real hard as an entrepreneur, no matter what it is that you're doing. So I hope you plan to join me every single day. And if you would like to join us in the future, if you're watching this on a video, you can just go to tinyurl.com/MMS today and actually go ahead and up to join us live every morning. We do it at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. So let's go ahead and get into our subject. Today we're going to be covering dualities. Okay, everything in our business and really in life comes in some form of interplay, of dualities of sorts. And for example, if you have an extreme willpower to really operate your business properly, well, you need all the mechanics required for that activity or that willpower to be able to accomplish the things that it needs to accomplish. So in that case, your willpower and the mechanics that you need to actually accomplish things are something that kind of works in tandem. In fact, the more will you have, the more mechanics are necessary. And then people and employees and all kinds of fun stuff. I've done several different kinds of entrepreneurial perspectives. I've owned companies that had several employees. I've been a general manager of very large companies. My largest had 150 employees at one time. I was general manager of a coffee corporation. And the mechanics have to equal the will. And so those are just two ideas. We're going to talk about ones that I think are a little bit more congruent to a distributor, to someone who's waking up in the morning, trying to get their mindset where it needs to go, and literally hitting that day. Remember, that's why we're here. We're here to take this 30 minutes and pick up some momentum, really get ready to make this day matter and make it count, because that's what's important as much as your strategy is going to spread past today. Right? I keep a very astute calendar myself. Okay, even though we're going to move forward in the rest of the strategy that we have, we want to get our mindset right away, right here in the morning. So today's subject, the twin powers of the extremely productive. Everything comes in twos. Okay, so always look for the antithesis to any thesis that you're engaging. Precision and velocity, I like this one. Okay, velocity is easier to explain, so we'll start there. Velocity is speed. It's the rate in which you're doing things, or the rate in which you're accomplishing something. To give you an idea of the difference between what it really is and what people expect it to be before we move into precision. When you speak with someone and you're making a sale, let's just say that whatever it might be that you're selling, you have an opportunity when you're speaking with that individual to make an impression. And the impression itself picks up velocity when you're thorough, when you're complete in your explanations, when you give a good story leading into the perspective of emotionally engaging that individual, when you enrich that process in that conversation to be as vivid in their mind as possible. So if you'll notice, really good salespeople seem to slow down a little bit, talk differently, tell stories. And the reason that happens is because literally you can create more velocity in a sale by being thorough, precise, exact, draw very powerful images up for the individual that you're selling to. Because if you close them in a matter of 1 or 2 conversations, as opposed to 15 to 20 conversations, it's because you realize that you can pick up velocity in that sale by being more precise in your dialogue with the individual you're speaking with. Okay, so it's not about making 500 calls to the same person on time every time. Okay, there's a lot that goes into the closing process with an individual. And again, I'm talking specifically to sales. I mean, relationships are all very, very similar. For example, if you have an interest that's even outside of work and you meet someone who's also interested in the same thing, and you're both of interest of the results of the same thing, so now you're talking and it's vivid and colorful and you're telling stories and you're interested. It's pleasurable for you to listen to the other individual talk. And so you have to create that same kind of atmosphere in the cycle of presenting an opportunity for an individual to make a purchase. So you can pick up speed or velocity by being more precise in your discussions, having more of an agenda. As Brian Tracy says, one of my favorite sales trainers, okay, that you're going to be the person that's prepared to go into a sale. You're not going to be the person that's not prepared. And the psychology of sales sometimes is one of my favorite books. He brings certain things up that just make me laugh a little bit because they're just so incredibly logical, right? Such sensical information. If any of you love reading books, Brian Tracy is one I highly suggest if you're interested in sales. But you can pick up velocity by having better conversations, telling better stories, okay, looking to listen closer to what the other individual is saying. Be silent and listen. Okay, believe it, when someone is talking to you, you are still in the sales process because you're allowing them the space to breathe so they can pick up that momentum with you and feel that pleasure, that freedom of buying from you, of being part of whatever it is that you're offering them. So precision and velocity, okay? You see a lot of sales guys, especially younger guys, and they're going hard every day, and they're coming in, and they're high-fiving, and they're jumping on top of their desks, and they're doing it all Wall Street style. And then you got the gentleman that's been there for 3 or 4 years, walks in, works real hard, real good pace, but everything he says is memorable. And he closes 3 or 4 times as much as these young guys. Why? It's because he's understood the potential and the point of a conversation and what can actually happen in one conversation. You can accomplish something in 3 conversations that normally may have taken you 30 otherwise. And so the velocity isn't how many times do you call the same person. It's how deep of an impression can you make? How well can you understand them both ways? Okay? So to give you an idea of a little bit past that precision and velocity, you got to move. You got to keep going. You got to go from one thing to the next thing and the next thing. If you need to contemplate something or think something through, plan a time to do it. Go to your calendar and literally say, I need to think about these things, and give yourself an hour of time. Put it aside. Okay, start moving. You do want to keep strong velocity in your activity as well. Okay, what I like to put is you want to march. You don't want to walk. You don't want to sprint too much. Sometimes you have to sprint. You don't want to do that too much. Just like if you do that in real life, you get sore and tired. Okay? But you do have to, especially in network marketing. Sometimes it's time to go. But I'm going to use the analogy of a Honda versus a Lamborghini. Okay? Both nice cars. If you're going regular speeds, everything's okay. If you're following the rules of the street, if you're following the speed signs, driving down the freeway, everything's fine. Real similar cars. Lamborghini, even at this point, probably handles a little bit better. But if they suddenly have to take off and take a corner, all the precision and the expense of that Lamborghini is going to suddenly matter more because it is organized, right? Its engine is built differently, right? The precision of the instrument that pushes that car to velocity is way higher than the Honda. It's going to hug that corner, and that Honda's going to hit the wall. Good cars, though, both of them. Okay, you've got to hone your productivity down to a schedule that you can follow. Use a level of precision in your work. Use a CRM to follow up with the people that you're working with. Follow a program. Okay, figure out what your best program is, but do that for certain. If you're working with the group, do they have a program they're using? Stay organized. Stay precise in your activities. Because only in doing that can you really speed up. Because if you're taking proper notes, moving things through time, managing your system, making sure you make your appointments, scheduling all your tasks, even though that sounds like a daunting amount of perspective you got to hold, it actually allows you to speed up, because just like it took more time and expenses and experts to put that Lamborghini together. That's why it's such a high dollar, very expensive car. It's because they have so much more precision in the work of developing that. And look at it take that corner. Look at it going 250 miles an hour and just hugging it. You want to be there. And the way you do that is you become more precise in your activities and your actions. Okay, and then two, very important, that we're not going to spend as much time on, is drive and imagination. Okay, believe this. Your vision of your life will drive you if you will stay focused on the vision of your life and not allow the daily grind, the failures, the misconceptions, okay, the eternities. There are eternities in being a business owner where you're sitting there going, is it going to be like this forever? I've been there a few times myself. Okay, I help a lot of people through that process, and I can tell you it's daunting. Your imagination has to stay clear. It will drive you. These are twin powers. They work together. If you build up your drive, your imagination will be more vivid, more capable of giving you that vision of where you're wanting to be. Okay, one thing I love about Jack Zufelt, okay, one of my favorite personal trainers out there, is that his philosophy is more around strategy than goal setting. Okay, even though I think goal setting can be very advantageous, but strategy over goal setting, meaning what is the strategic action that you need to take right now to envision and to realize everything that you're trying to accomplish? What can you do this minute? What is the most important part of your strategy right this minute? If your imagination is solid of the vision of where you're going, you will be emotionally charged to create a clear understanding of what to do right this moment. Because it's this moment that you are currently in that exists, period. And what you actually do in the next few moments, moving into the moments after that, the minutes, into the hours, and the rest of your day, is going to determine just how much you actually live in the vision of what you really want in your life. Okay? Drive and imagination are tied. If you don't feel like you're really solid in your business model and you feel a little weak about it, for any reason, clear your mind and see your success as clearly as you can and define what you need to do right this minute. That right there, that beginning of strategic thinking is the needle that will allow you to move this business forward. Okay, so clear your mind, see what you want, and think clearly about what you need to do right this minute. Okay, if you keep doing it that way, moving through your day, you'll go from being a little clumsy with what it is that you're trying to accomplish to creating distinctions of precision that will help operate the mechanics of what you're trying to accomplish. You just stay focused on what needs to be done right this minute. That's a hard thing to do. So, precision and velocity, drive and imagination. You could think of a lot more than that. Everything that comes in a process of duality. How about success and unsuccess? Or I don't even want to use the word failure, right? But for any of you that are entrepreneurs, you understand, I hope, that the word failure is non-existent. Okay, it doesn't really exist. For all the majorly successful entrepreneurs, they all share that secret, I guess you could say. So they're just learning experiences. We can write it off even at a smaller level, but the truth of the matter is, what it is that we're becoming as entrepreneurs is half unknown, and it will always remain so. Okay, the half that we do know, we work on really hard. The other half, we want to be a surprise. We want it to be amazing and spectacular, stupendous. We want that imagination as children to be real in our adulthood because we believe it can be. That there is pleasurable surprises in our future for doing the right way. And the truth of the matter is I've been through this enough to know that that's really actually true. And we should be expectant of good things to happen. Okay, you got to get that in your mind that good things are going to happen, and you don't even know what they all are yet. The unknown is okay. Entrepreneurs deal with a tremendous amount of the unknown, and it's all right. Okay, don't let it overpower you. The unknown is beautiful. You've got to allow it to be beautiful, and it will be, and it'll be ugly sometimes too. Okay, we've all gotten those surprises where we're like, well, that's not good. Anyways, spending too much time. Thank you for joining me here in the Morning Mindset. This will be available for review again later. I will put it up on my wall on Facebook, and I will be back here again tomorrow morning.